Hello, lovely peoples. This is Kalia Taylor, and today's little message we're talking about love, and today we're talking about love versus, love validation and chasing our goals, our purpose as a woman, our purpose as men, even too. This channel is for the women and the men here, just here to educate you all. So, diving into it, our experience with love. Y'all, I would love to hear y'all experiences on love too. How about there's some wild ones? So if you want to comment, please do. Story time is very, very real. I have many stories, all of which we'll probably share at some point. But I find it more and more, especially in this season, the past couple years, is just wanting to lock in on my purpose with God and building those habits. And I slowly am. The past year or so, I was at trade school for the maritime industry, which I had just found out about like 2 years ago. About like seamanship and all that stuff. It's like knot tyings. There's so much that goes into it. Safety. It's all about safety, and there's so many jobs on the ships that you can work on. So I found that I was like, oh, I love to work on water, and I wanted to learn how to sail, and I still want to, and I will, I will get there. But it just fascinated me. So I was like, okay, let me try this out, because for me, I was working 9 to 5 jobs, and I was even working at 2 jobs at once, and then I was babysitting for a while. But I kept getting sick, burnout, tired. So I decided to move back in with my mom from my own place and just have a whole new fresh start. And I was a little nervous, y'all. It is nervous when you're first starting something, but it's the courage and confidence to take those first steps that's gonna lead you to somewhere amazing. So I'm very proud of myself for, choosing that step. So, little story time. We popped out to I'm sounding like it's like a party or something. So I went and we went through security and everything. And then I was led to my dorm in my res. My roommates, my first roommates, I'm very glad for them showing me around, the mentor that I have. I learned a lot about friendships and being mindful of who I interact with. Um, yeah. Actually, I think this video is going to sidetrack into my experience at trade school. Okay, my story time at trade school is going to tie into the love and validation and friendships and what else did I mention? Like creating better habits and our goals and focusing on our purpose. Just because it really taught me, to pour into myself, to be mindful of who I interact with. Because when I first got there, I honestly went from several different friend groups, and I wish that I had stuck with my morals and values because, y'all, when they say bad character or bad company corrupts good character and good judgment, it is so true. And honestly, it's not like yes, it's a regrets, of things I've done and said, but it's also I've learned so much, and you have to kind of move past the shame and guilt, and just learn from it, and know that we're all human, we're all living this experience together, and it's not always easy. We're gonna make mistakes. It's just about giving yourself grace through that. But yeah, I definitely wish I, you know, well, actually, I don't even wish, but like when I first got there, because I was a very like social person, I feel like I have my more introvert tendencies, because since I'm an empathic person, I need that time to reflect and be in my own space. Um, but I also enjoy being around other people too, if I'm like in the right energy and zone. Oh, my brother just messaged me. Okay. Anyway, y'all. Yeah, but just being mindful of who you create friendships with. And also, I think it was just because I've had trust issues in the past, and I feel like a lot of people in this generation have trust issues. And I think it's taught me to trust God more. And the more I trust God and focus on Him, and the more I pour love back into myself, the more I attract that love from friendships and other people, you know? Um, Another thing from friendships is that if they're your friend to your face, but they're like talking bad about you, gossiping to other people, always have something to say about you, um, or maybe they're not even necessarily talking about you with a person, but they're listening to that person talk about you and they're not standing up for you, that is not your real friend. You need to gut them out of your life, like cut them out. Because if they can be around those people, and some people are like, oh, I'm just doing it for the tea, you know, like to get everything on that. I'm sorry, y'all, but you are fake. Side note, y'all, it's really weird when I film videos. It feels like whenever I want to share my voice, either my voice like gets raspy and craggy, you know, like there's something in it, or it feels like I'm like shaky. Right now I feel shaky, and I don't know if it's because like I haven't really eaten anything or it's like kind of cold. But I just find that interesting. I feel like it's almost as if someone's like trying to silence me from speaking, but I love to speak my truth. That's one thing I got from my mama is I'm very blunt and very direct, very cutthroat. And there's a difference. Also, something I learned is that there's a difference from being friendly and being nice and kind. Being nice and kind comes with boundaries. Being friendly is all up in people's faces. We don't want that. So yeah, friendships, we kind of talked about that a little bit. I found my tribe, I found my close people, you know, and that took some time to figure it out, you know. But yeah, just really don't let anyone lead you astray. Use your discernment. Use your discernment. Pray about it, you know, even pray for your enemies. There's been times where I wanted to crash out, you know, but what you do, your actions, as the Bible says, what you sow is what you reap. Very much true. So if you're speaking bad on someone, if you want to be like, cuss that bitch out or whatever, best know hypocrisy is also real. Because even we got to preach what we say, you know, preach what we do. And that's actually the church message that I watched today is like, you got to preach what you believe in, you know? Or did I say that right? Y'all get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just use discernment. That goes for love, relationships, dating, anybody. And what's really taught me also is be slow. When you're building anything, take it slow and intentional and really build with God at the center and keep Him at the center. And y'all, this is gonna be hard for a lot of y'all, but sex. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I had my first kiss like a year or two ago. And I'm 21, almost 22, approaching in August. And y'all, I wish I'd keep it. I wish I had not even had my first kiss, you know? I wish I chose someone not exactly better, but I wish I was more selective with that, you know? Be selective. Your body is a temple. But yeah, it's about being mindful of who you allow access in your life, staying on those boundaries, and sometimes you don't even know your boundaries until you're in the moment, and that's okay. Just, you know, because with this, okay, y'all, soul ties are very much real. And when you give access to someone so soon, it creates an emotional bonding connection, which is necessary for a relationship. But if you don't fully know the person, get to know them, you know, have those base questions and foundations, it leads to a lot of hurt in the end, which is what I've learned. Also, y'all, I need to clear my storage. I need to work on that. Like clearing things out, I feel like is what I need to be doing, you know? And I feel like that's the season. I know spring already passed and that's supposed to be the season, but I feel like it's just total rebrand and refresh right now. Okay, so moving on from that, we'll go into, actually, yeah, delving into a little more into that is that, y'all, spiritual warfare. We also attract, whenever we sleep with someone, we pick up their feelings. And even if they haven't healed from the other person, best believe, I've experienced this, we're going to pick up those person's emotions. And you're going to be like, what the heck is going on? And that's the reason. Gotta be mindful who you lay it down with. Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that. Yeah. It's just really about building. And one of my friends, there was this guy I was talking to, he gave me this book. It's about creating better habits, and I have not fully gotten to read it. But habits, what I've learned is that creating a plan, like making a daily plan, being like, hey, this is my workout plan. This is what I want to choose to work on. For me, it's boxing. I have boxing gloves and hand wraps, and people's, I gotta put them to use, And I'm a very much like, I like to do things by myself on my own, And I value and I appreciate help, and I have received help. And I love all the support I have given, or I have got from people. It's just that I have to balance, being by myself, because I can't isolate too much, or, get into a depressive state, you get into like this down state. It's not a good place to be in, But if I'm around two people too much, I will snap. I will literally snap. So it's just about protecting your peace and energy and balance in every single thing. And creating goals very much helps me with that. And once I achieve those goals, it makes me so proud. Like, I feel so proud. And this past year or two, completing trade school, graduating from that, when there were so many times I was so homesick, like, it was so rough. People would, like, be gossiping about me, And I take full accountability of my actions, But a lot of it was, like, lies. And I'm like, you people don't even know the half of this truth and story. And that's the thing, like, and gossiping is a sin, And I know that, like, I am a sinner. We're all sinners. But I repent. And it's a daily thing that we have to work on, It's just judging, Only God can judge us. And it baffles me the audacity some people have. Like, take accountability. Ooh. And another lesson that I learned is that respect. Respect is such a big thing. Respect is such a big thing. And everyone deserves respect in a sense, But there are definitely people who have lost my respect. And it's just becoming a person that you would aspire to be and being able to inspire other people. It just baffled me. The environment I was in, y'all, it taught me so much, but it also made me realize I'm like, these are like the lowest of lows, the darkest of darks. Okay, maybe that's a little extreme. But it definitely taught me a lot. And it taught me consistency, showing up even when I didn't want to, which are all part of how we grow. And I think I'm still learning my purpose, but I found out that I'm starting to find out my skills and talents, And there's so much I want to learn and do. I want to create so much. I want to have my own businesses, I want to do just so much. And I want to create a little village. If y'all are down to create a little village, bring your skills and assets. Let me know what you bring to the table. We can get this whole thing running up. Buy some land. I'm so serious, y'all. I'm so serious when I say I want a little village, We can have little, like, community group get-togethers where we do fun activities. And oh my God, that'd be heaven sent. And God, like, I've been going to church recently, but I've been having to watch it online more. Because the one that I go to was, where I used to go to trade school. So I've just been watching that online. But it's such good community that I found. And that's one thing. Find your community, find your tribe, find your passion, and live in it. Okay, y'all. There's a lot more that I want to say, but I'm running out of space, so we're gonna have to save it for another video. So we're probably gonna do part 2 of this. Love and validation, friendships, and chasing purpose and goals. But stand on business, stay in your morals and truth, and you know, I think I mentioned this in my other video, but my Instagram is kstglowgoddess_11. So go follow me for updates and stay connected with me. And I pray that you all have an amazing, wonderful day. Hit the subscribe button, like and comment, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.